15h15 sur
15:15. Welcome everyone, dear guest exhibitors, for the last debate on our stage called Wines and Spirits, a key factor in the customer experience, packaging design. INDP has been organizing the stage. We wanted to celebrate 4 days of TV stages with having consumed a drop of wine or spirits. Céline Delcourt, you're founding of City Design at Cognac. And next to you, Emmanuel TAILLARDAT, you are heading the agency DICI Design, and you are Monsieur Demetriadis, and you know spirits and wines. How to go off the beaten track, wines and spirits that are replete with history, patrimony, and heritage and tradition. Owners of wine cellars are very conservative here to give us food for thought, examples of accomplishments to rethink this world, adding added value to beverages. Emmanuel TAILLARDAT, let's talk about wine. First, your agency is specialized in most of the wine cellars in France. What do you observe? What are the pros and cons of design packaging in wine? It's a broad issue, a broad field. As you said, sir, most of the wine cellar owners or operators follow codes which are taken over on a territory in France. You're excessively worried with the matching design, label, bottle shape with the territory, whether you're in Bordeaux, Champagne, Burgundy, if I'm talking about wines. We have one bottle which is, from the terroir, recognized by the consumer as coming from this particular region, and the labels likewise are not labels which will move away from codes. We're trying to work on stickers and labels. We're trying to work on a label which is not really different because you replicate the code, the graphics code. It's a Me Too sticker, it's a Me Too label basically. And you're competing or you're imitating the codes of your competitors, so there's no way to differentiate. Our job is to work on the perceived value. If you're not able to tell people that differentiation involves a graphics revisiting of wine or spirits or what have you. I'm not specialized in the field of wines, but anyway. But it's an attaching, an exciting field, wines. You have a lot of stuff to do. We're stuck on our positions. A lot of things were done, but they're poorly perceived when a chateau eliminates the word chateau from the sticker, or the design of vines. People say it's not a Bordeaux anymore, it's not a Burgundy wine anymore. But many houses started to adapt codes which are simpler, graphically better looking, and which propel the product into a universe which is that of a appellation wine. That's how you can fund or create a brand which is different, because of the different stick. If you go to a retailer in the Bordeaux region, you got a gigantic cellar, but to make it between a Bordeaux and a Bordeaux, you got 48 appellations in Bordeaux. Consumers are lost. So basically, we want to guide them. Our first role is to guide the customer. You're right, the wine cellar proprietor does guide people. The expertise is transmitted. It's a cultural product. Yes, of course, I do agree with you, but you want to have time. It's important when you want to have time to get advice, and we go to to buy from a retailer, major retailers. Well, you don't have time, you don't like to go to retail stores, or you go there or you order on the web. This morning we had Cdiscount on the stage telling us that they were the largest retailer of wines in France, Cdiscount. A lot of work for design packaging out there. Let's give the floor to Céline afterwards. Of course, a lot of work for design packaging because the pack is used to communicate, to advertise. A medium which goes inside your home, it is used to communicate and to educate consumers, like a wine cellar owner would do. You're specialized in spirits, but you have your viewpoint as a designer on wine. So we talked about the tradition. Should you keep traditions alive? Stress the chateau, the terroir, the region of provenance? Well, to me, it's a matter of values related to the house. What does the wine grower wants to communicate? He might have a chateau based on his products, based on the values he wants to claim, based on what he wants to share through the wine with the customers. It's a matter of transcribing again through keywords what is important to claim and how you can sell this wine. Do you want to sell through based on traditions, based on a castle, on a chateau, on the 3D chateau? If you put on goggles, you can work on a chateau which could be modernistic in style. And alongside this, you can also play around modernity or naturalness, so you're going to play around other codes. As a designer, you must describe and transcribe the message the owner wants to, the producer wants to convey. Olivier Demetriadis, you are specialized in connected packaging. Here's a spirit, but let's look at and talk about wine. You said your creed is to say you can enrich the customer experience, or you can create a customer experience by connecting a package of the bottle. Yes. Starting from your designs, you don't do the same job. You guys are complementary. We have a basically transcribing your design the best we can on the labels, on the sleeves. And we want to add information on wine, on spirits, adding history, and through the connectivity without affecting your design. It makes it possible for us to provide additional information to tell the story of winemaking, which is ancestral of a product, while connecting packagings. You reconcile modernity and tradition, basically. Yes, indeed, modernity, in order to provide information easily without disturbing the values and tradition which brands are attached to. It's an added value. It's part of the enhancement of a wine. Emmanuel TAILLARDAT wine is so steeped in codes. Innovation was going abroad in terms of packaging, labeling, and so forth. Yes, indeed. We saw a lot of innovations coming from world wines, as found. You talked about retailing. It is found in world wines made a lot of efforts in terms of innovating on labels. They simply tried to translate their values, trying to tell a story. As my colleague said, it's our job, namely, and it took time. Some people took this step. Well, it took time because most of the wine cellar owners are afraid of setting themselves apart from their community because they will feel they're going to lose legitimacy or value and be diluted by marketers. I'm working on 38 sectors of activity. It's true, we feel in France that marketing will hide, whereas it will promote the sales. Well, poor products have great marketing. I mean, you know, very good products have a great marketing also. So marketing makes it possible to sell great products. If the consumer finds that the product is bad, he will not repurchase it or buy it again. He will not be restocked. We had, marketing directed by premium wines, you know, Beaujolais Nouveau and so forth and so on. There was a lot of marketing also. You cannot do anything. And design will not drive a product. It's an addition. We're here to support the product. We're not here to change it or replace if it's a poor product. A designer can do it all. You know, marketing can really make a lot of it will not change. Namely, the product is bad and will not be sold. I can help customers because they have good products. I did work on below par products, and in this case, they did not sell, although you have got great design. Now, what about keeping something? Noël Capferrer published a book called Luxury Oblige. You're working on luxury codes when you look at your website, what you perceive at any rate. Now, Capferrer said luxury goods are the combination of three elements, namely terroir, provenance, the place, location, man, the blood, and history, the past. Should this be kept on board to tell the story of wine or spirits? Well, or should you keep two or three criteria or none? In terms of message, what message do you want to get across? What do you want to claim in terms of values? What emotion do you want to convey through your packaging? What tool are you going to use? What are you going to develop? It's a strategy. It is a real strategy to be worked on before making or designing a sticker. Are the three words very important to you? Terroir, blood, history. I'm working a lot on emotions and values, expertise, and the way they behave. You're trying to impose your beliefs on people of what is luxury all about. I want to understand first what the customer expects and perceives and bring him or her. I like to work by focusing on what the customer perceives, but also I want to get off the beaten track by surprising, delighting the consumer and the client to add value through printing techniques or through different types of materials while having a relevant marketing tack. This is in combination with the client and what he needs to emphasize, what the customer expresses, or what you get him to express. You know, trying to bring out underlying ideas on his part. It's up to me to ask relevant questions, to bring out and to get the customer to think when he's asking the designer to work on their brand. It's their product, their baby, or all the babies they have, and it's hard to tell them it's okay, it's wrong, it's right. You got to understand you did this. Why did you do this today? If you're asking me to work because you need, it is a need out there for improvement, you want to change totally your tack. You got to think, okay, that's what's done. You will not upset the apple cart and distort everything. So you're creating a story around what's out there, adding or changing some vectors. Olivier Demetriadis. Now, what about the way to communicate the message to the customers? Now, the term used is contact point, touch points. Touch points. Basically, you can multiply the touch points. The product is the first touch point. The content, of course, the recollection of the Bordeaux you drank half a year ago when you were invited, but you create other touch points. Show you how this works. How does your system work with an app? You have an ad. We develop an app, a mobile app on the cell phone, which makes it possible to provide content on a brand. How does this work today? We have image recognition. We forget the QR code on packages. QR code today is used for traceability, security, supply chain purposes, but marketing-wise, it was very little used. So today we're moving on image recognition. We set up a platform. We're taking a snapshot of a package, which you put in the platform, and the package is recognized as a QR code, as a signature, and then you give access to the platform to the brand, whiskeys, wine, spirits, and the brand will enrich the inside of the package by adding information on the history of the brand, the wine making. So you refer to you're sent to a website. When you scan the packaging, you get a content downloaded on the phone, and you can choose visually. You have got small vignettes to know whether it's a tutorial for recipes for a cocktail, whether it's history. These are less intrusive methods. The client can pick and choose the information is interested in. You got second point, the label. Well, on the sleeves sold. This is corporate or communication. So inside the sleeve, you have bottles. You wanted to make the bottle unique. We created a large image representing the brand universe, and using dedicated software, we can fragment the image into different images. Could you rotate the bottle? Oh, you can see the stick. Every stick is different. If you put all the bottles next to one another, you will see the graphics, same colors, same lines. What's the value of this? Why do you customize every sticker? Well, having a unique sticker on your phone, when you flash the sticker, you have the corporate content for the brand, but also you can also customize the bottle digitally from your cell phone. So you can enter the word have a nice birthday, have a good birthday. You get into gifting, you buy a bottle and you say, well, I'm offering you this bottle for your birthday. You have a photograph of the participant. You may add video clips or music. We're now going to talk about spirits. Now, can you be more creative in spirits? Spirits codes are more conducive to creativity, I guess. Well, yes or no? Well, it's an innovative process. It catches on more in spirits than in wine. We start with spirits, champagne, brandy, whiskey, because these are technologies which are quite large, having a cost. Based on the unit value of the product. Today, our expertise is such that we start having contacts in the Champagne regions with people making brandy, champagne, and what have you. You gotta, compare this to a selling price, of course. We did not do this yet in wine. Céline Delcourt, can you be more creative in terms of spirits? The territory is more conducive to creativity. Well, in both cases, you can be very creative. Once again, you can be very creative in contributing new materials, new textures, new materials. It works for wines and spirits, and for wines are having limited editions. In champagne, you have a lot of limited editions, of course, in terms of customization. Veuve Clicquot just did this in terms of packaging, which is innovative. Oh yeah, Veuve Clicquot. They're inspired by fragrances, I guess. It's a very coded universe with like multiple declensions or ranges of champagne. There's value transfer. Okay. Anyway, Emmanuel TAILLARDAT. Is creativity stronger for spirits? You have here a great whiskey, Armoric whiskey. Tell me the story. It's a magnificent bottle. Well, yes, possibly. It's a bottle which has the right codes, and the packaging is right. Let me respond to the technology and the issue about wine. It's quite interesting if you start customizing a bottle of wine and information, traceability. For tomorrow, the consumer will be able to, by flashing the wine, to geolocate the plot of land where the wine was grown, where the vines are located. So you are reconnecting to men in history. Yes, you are reconnecting to the use. And there's a notion we did not take up in a market you got to find the right users. RFID chip, for example, has been around for 30 years. There's not enough. It was not used because we didn't find any uses for it. What you show us, there is a value here on the use because you can see you can extrapolate. I understand wine better. I know where it comes from. I can locate it, and I will continue to tell my story. So much for the aside on technology. Now, what about Armoric? This whiskey bottle, Armoric. We're proud it became the first French whiskey in terms of sales. It's a French whiskey made in Brittany by people from Alsace. No. The distillery is called Warenghem. There was a change of ownership. It's a 100-year-old distillery. Alsatian set up shop in Brittany to continue before the war to produce alcohol, and the distillery was transmitted to Mr. Roussier, who's the current owner, who gave us his brand Armoric, which became a whiskey brand. It's extraordinary. God, the first whiskey from France, not the first whiskey sold in France. No, it is for whiskey made in France, sold in France. Carving out a name in the whiskey world, it means a lot of work for design work. Yeah, there's 30 distilleries of whiskeys are operating in France. It's a growing sector. People are opening whiskey distilleries today in France. But indeed, French whiskey was little recognized worldwide, and this whiskey was exported because, simply to go back to the design, what we did is we created a brand using what are called the codes of major brands. Look at Scotland, Glenfiddich, Glenmore. You can see the bot explain to us why you are using the codes of large or big brands. We're using all that can be done on a package, namely on an overpack, namely gold embossing, stamping, and all this was put in place, whereas it was quite hard because they had 5,000 pieces per product. It doesn't make it possible to produce a machinery. They have several SKUs, but what we did simply is we worked on the brand strategy. And on the brand strategy, we said for a product, for all the ranges, we're going to use the same package, armorique, and we've got to simply, like this, you put the bottle in the sleeve. You put the bottle in the sleeve. It works. So in other words, it might be a smaller bottle than the size of the bottle of the box. You can adapt. We worked on a bottle which fits the same packaging that we called the sock, which will propose the product name and some marketing on the sides, and all information with the EAN code. This is a small company I'm working for. So your customer saved on, you invested on a great package, but basically you're saving on cardboard because you've got this this small trick, this sock, so to speak, so they could use the marketing codes of major brands while reducing the cost of production. So that's what design agency do. An example you want to show us, Céline? We're going to show the video. We're talking about brandy cognac. Oh, it's a dummy package dedicated to spirits. Okay, good. Now, let's look at the pictures being screened. It's Royal Essence. We have 3 partners in this project. That's still black and gold embossing. You've got different 2 gildings, hot stamping, textiles, and 3D textiles at the back of the box. The video, you've got like engraving, jacquard, bottle. There's a real innovation. The idea was to bring 3 expertise fields, 3 fields of expertise. We created a new package called coffre-étui. It's a box which turns into a glorifier. Great. Orimono worked on the textile part. It was really a cooperation. The drawings were printed on textiles. It is for customers having a lot of money, I guess, who have deep pockets. Is it affordable? It all depends on the quantities to be produced. The idea here was really to, for us, the idea was to, ALL4, to show expertise and show techniques. What is this? This is an interpretation of tradition with packaging, which is cutting edge, which opens up like a flyer, like a brochure. Not really. It was rather transforming the sleeve content, having another approach to the sleeve to surprise and delight the customer. The value is to show the contribution of fabrics and materials. It is demonstrated. You can pick and choose what you want to whet the appetite of people. Printing, engraving, or textiles, which is little used in packaging, which adds value. To wrap up, you have another product, Spiritu with cassis. Okay, that's more artistic. It's a different touch point. You got an object around the bottle. It was made with a friend of mine. That's the luxury world, exactly. We enhance a brand.
une maison de cognac et qui, voilà, pour la...
It's a branding company. For La Part des Anges, we wanted to sublimate and enhance the brand to make it into a collector's item. Through this association with Maria on sculpture and myself for the engraving. There's a feminine touch here, as you can see. We talked yesterday about women in packaging. Great example of women in packaging. To you, Olivier, you make a difference through a smartphone. Yes, that's the way we skin the cat. Our job is not designing. We wanted to provide added value to the print, and I do concur with what you said earlier on today. We set up a tool to channel information, to create a link between the brand and the customer. What prevails tomorrow is the use made of it and the content you want to put inside. And today, brands must really focus on this content to add value to the package and find users, and you designers, you're well placed to find the uses for the products on tomorrow's packagings. If you want to consume wine and spirits in moderation, you must, of course, rely a lot on design agencies. Thank you, guys. And I drink your health. We'll have the trends in 5 minutes. Jeremy will talk to Sleep International in 5 minutes here. Have a great end of the afternoon on ALL4PACK.